Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Learn to Crochet, a Felicity Crafts Special. It's good to see you. I have put on my most complicated shawl and now you're going to be thinking, I know how to do that. I recognise a chain, I recognise a treble, I know what to do. Before long, I'll be wearing crochet gloves too. You can do it. So we've got this far. We've got to the stage where we have got 2 rounds and now we are going to change colour. And changing colour also coincidentally tells you how to finish, because we will be finishing one colour and starting the next colour. So whether you choose to do a blanket out of one enormous square or lots of different ones together, you're going to have to finish at some point, and that will teach you the same. So I have to go into my hook roll now because we need some more pieces of equipment for today's lesson. So we're going to look inside. You could easily make a hook roll out of here. We talked yesterday about all the different sizes, but today we're going to need some scissors and we are going to need our yarn needle, which is a big-eyed needle. It's just big-eyed and blunt. You're not poking through anything because it's holey, so you don't need a sharp one, and you need to get your wool in there. So it's got a nice big eye. Any kind of scissors will do. They don't have to be as cute as those ones of mine. And I'm going to put my hook roll away, flip onto the other camera and show you the magic of changing colours. Okay, so we got up to this stage yesterday. So we are now going to go out here and carry on exactly the same way, so the stitching is the same, but we need to change our colour. And this is also what we will be doing at the end. So you need to cut it off with a nice long tail. So don't cut right here because that will come off. We need to cut off the dark pink and we're going to be joining in the light pink. But before we need to do that, we need to finish this one off. So we're going to pick it up, we're going to go yarn over hook, we're going to pull it through, but this time we're going to carry on pulling it through, all the way through, like that. And now that's nice and tight. So if that was at the end of it, that's where you are. Okay, nice and finished all the way through. And this is where we need our yarn needle, because this now needs to be sewn in. Some crocheters advocate waiting until the end and so leaving this hanging down and darning in all your ends at the end. I don't, because I think you get this caught up. So you just need to tuck this in. So I'm going to tuck it across a little bit like that. And it doesn't really matter how you do this, you just need to get that out of the way. So I'm just going to sew it in under here. This is one of the issues with crochet, the fact that this can sometimes be sticking out and does hang around a little bit like that, but you have to not worry about it. We're going to cut this off now because we don't need it. Throw that one away, and that is a nice solid square. Say years of blanket playing with and putting it through the washing machine sometimes makes a little bit come out, and all you do is poke it straight back in again. That's all. Nothing to worry about. It's secure now. That is a square and you have made it. But we want our square a little bit bigger than that. It's not going to keep you warm on a cold night in Yorkshire, a little square like that. So we are now going to join our new colour. So it's always best to go into a corner. It's up to you whether you want to join at this end of the corner or this end of the corner. It doesn't matter. The other thing is, don't always join in the same place. So if you are doing a corner here on this round, you might want to put it over here or whatever you want to do. As you get more confident, you can do it in different places, but wherever you want to go. I'm going to do it here in this corner. So I'm going to put my hook through there. Did you see what I did there? So I'm just finding the last one in there, and crochet is forgiving. We've got 2 chains in there, and if you went a little bit into that top stitch and not in the chain, it actually wouldn't really matter. But I'm going to go into the chain and I'm going to put my hook through. And then I'm going to rest that over there like that. It's not fixed in any way, but I'm not doing that where I've got hardly anything there. I'm going to leave a bit of a tail and then hook that over. And I'm going to hold both as I pull it through. And then when I do my 3 chain, I'm going to catch both pieces. Can you see that? There's both of them there, and I'm going to go 1, and I'm helping it over because I'm doing both things. 2, flip right back to the second episode if you want a little look at that. 3, and that's brought me out, and that will be the end of the corner. So now I'm going to do my 1 chain that's in between, and then I'm going to go back to doing my 3 trebles in here. So you then follow on with the same pattern of 3 trebles in a stitch. So this time I've got my 3 trebles there, 1 chain in between, and then I'm going for the corner. And we know what the corners are, don't we? A 3 treble cluster. I'm using a new word now. 3 treble cluster. And then 2 chains to form my corner. And then another cluster of 3 trebles. You can hear my accent there, can't you? Cluster. You might say that a bit differently. But either way, it's that little group of trebles that we're happy with. So we've got our corner. I'm doing 1 chain in between, and now I'm going into the next one. And I've got my treble cluster, and I'm just going to carry all the way round. So we just fast forwarded there, so I'm on my last cluster all the way around. I'm going to do chain 2 for my last corner, and remember those first chains? They were already forming one of the cluster, weren't they? Just like last time. So this time we only need to do 2 trebles because the original 3 chain will now form my first one, and then I'm going to slip all the way through. And I'm just going to remind you how to do the finishing off by doing it again. You don't need to cut this if you're going to do another round, but you might just want to leave it like that. So we're going to do yarn over hook, and this time pull it all the way through and pull tight. And then we're going to just thread up our needle and go inside, so that we've got those ones going up and down. And I do like to do a fair amount of yarn putting back in. I have seen tutorials that say just do it like twice. I don't think so. I think you need to make this really nice and secure actually before you decide to cut it off at the back any way you like. So we've now got ourselves a square. I like to put my fingers into it and just pull it up a little bit like that. You can do a thing called blocking, which is a kind of type of ironing, which we might cover in a later one. But you have gone from not being able to do anything to creating a granny square. Be proud of yourself because you are amazing. You are now a crocheter. So now you're nearly at the end, aren't you? You can now make a granny square. You just need to carry on with that. And you can do as much colour changing as you like, lots and lots of practice. That is all you need to learn to make a granny square blanket, except for how to put them together, of course. If you were making one blanket that keeps going round, you keep going round and round exactly the same way. You can see often we don't do 2 blues and then 2 blues. We often do different colours, like on this one where you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 all changing. And if you flip over to my Instagram, there are hundreds of pictures of blankets on there for you to have a look at and different bits of crochet. But you have done really, really well to get to there because that is most of the stuff that we need. We still need to learn 2 secrets. 1 is reading a pattern and 2 is joining these squares together. And that's what we'll cover tomorrow when I see you back for the last episode of Learn to Crochet.